There's something wrong with me. Emptiness. I'm just drifting and I don't have purpose. I thought throwing myself into work was the answer. When you feel
Hello, 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 people. Hello. Hello, everyone. I just got out of the AMC and just finished watching Thunderbolts. It's pretty chilly right now. Sorry, I'm trying to warm up. Yeah, I just finished watching Thunderbolts. My most anticipated film of this year, besides Lilo and Stitch and, of course, the start of DC with Superman. But yeah, this was at least my most anticipated Marvel movie of this year. And I am so 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 happy with the way this movie turned out. Oh my gosh, this was, yeah, Marvel is so back. Jesus Christ, dude. But also fuck Marvel, cuz how they gonna screw up Taskmaster that badly and Black Widow? And then, spoiler alert, most people were guessing it anyway, but I'll give you a few seconds to skip this. But 3, 2, 1, they kill Taskmaster off, like immediately. Immediately. She just gets popped in the fucking head. And yeah, how they gonna fucking screw up Taskmaster that badly in Black Widow and then just immediately kill her off at the start of Thunderbolts? That's fucked. That is fucked. But that is the only negative I have about this movie. Everything else was fucking phenomenal. Fucking phenomenal. Sentry, I never thought we'd see Sentry pulled off on the big screen. Yeah, I just never thought we'd see Sentry on the big screen, but like they pulled him off fucking phenomenally. The shadow version of Sentry was horrifying. I don't know how they were able to do that shadow effect for Sentry. I don't know how they did it, but it looked scary. It looked horrifying. The way he just, yeah, I don't want to spoil anything, but like the way he just, I don't know, like he he gets pretty scary. And I don't know, I was questioning the same thing throughout the film. Like, you take Captain America, you give Captain America Steve Rogers the serum, he makes Captain America. But if you give someone who's mentally unstable something, some, supernatural powers, like what the fuck's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Like, we already got death in the MCU. We don't need another version of death. We don't need someone who can mentally lock everyone in their, just like emotionally lock them down and trap them in their worst moments. Like that's just horrible. But I'm glad the team made it out, of course. It's Marvel. They're always gonna have a positive ending. But yeah, the way the team forms, like the first hour, I thought was paced a little slowly. The way they get going with the how the different team members are intersecting on this one location and how they eventually form the team Thunderbolts. I thought that took a little long, but after the team forms and after they're together, like the pacing gets going, like it just feels like it's nonstop moving after that, and I loved it. I feel like this is what I wanted from Captain America. Like they told the story they wanted to. They didn't back away. They didn't like go, 60, 70% and then back away the last 30%. They actually full forced told the story that they wanted to. They made Yelena and Bob, both of them. They made them both. You feel like you could connect with the two of them. And they were very empathetic to each other's storylines. And Yelena becomes very empathetic to every one of the Thunderbolts. Like every team member, she becomes very empathetic for, and like actually listens to their story. But yeah, you feel quite a bit of those moments with Yelena and her opening up and like actually listening to the other team members, which you get a lot with her and Black Widow in Black Widow as well. And then, of course, her and Alexei have that scene in Black Widow, and they have more moments in this movie as father and daughter that are very touching. But yeah, like every time Yelena and Bob are together on the screen, it it made me emotional. I cried. I cried quite a bit every time Yelena and Bob had a discussion because they did not shy away from just the loneliness and how people feel lonely, but they're not they're not alone. Like you choose your own family, and they definitely did join and create their own family in this movie. You may feel like you're alone, but you're not. You always have people in your life that care about you and are constantly missing you. And I think people definitely need to hear that. And definitely, yeah, this movie is a lot. I'm glad out of everything, I'm glad they didn't shy away from the message that they were trying to tell. Like Captain America Brave New World. That is the downside of that movie. And I was hoping that that is the one thing that wouldn't happen in this movie. And I'm glad it didn't. I'm glad that they actually stuck to telling one message and they definitely nailed that message. Yeah, they definitely stuck the landing with that. I love this movie. I am probably going to watch it like 3 or 4 more times in theaters. If I have anything else to say, or if I think of anything else, I'm sure I'll pop it back in. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. All right, so it's been a few days since I've checked in with you, and now I'm here to give you more thoughts of mine about the 3 movies I went and watched the other day. So, as you know, I went and watched The Accountant 2, Sinners, and Thunderbolts. I've been thinking about the 3 movies a lot the past 3 days, though. And every time I think about something or bring up something new, um, to like someone I talk to Marvel movies about at work, or whenever I've listened to like a podcast or whatever that made me think about these three movies, I've written down some thoughts in my notepad. So I'm gonna go through these notes, and yeah, let's just talk about these movies some more. Another phenomenal, phenomenal. You get it? Phenomenal female, because it's led by Florence Pugh, and she deserves to be the fucking leader of the Avengers, or the new Avengerz with a Z. Z. Avengerz. Yeah. Yeah. Florence Pugh is breathtakingly gorgeous in every movie, but she's like out of this world in this movie. She is so fucking good at everything she does, dude. Like, and and for them to open up the movie with her doing her own stunts. How they gonna top that? How they gonna top that? We got our own female Tom Cruise right here in the MCU, doing her own stunts, jumping off of tall buildings. Florence Pugh is amazing, dude. She's fucking amazing. And this film, dude, Thunderbolts, it's one of the most impactful films for the MCU that we've gotten, and I don't know how long. Trust me on that. I like it is one of the most impactful films. Not not only for like the future of the MCU, and like also the past. Like it takes characters from other movies or shows that didn't do that great and gives us a reason to love these characters. So it not only saves characters from the past and gives us a reason to want them in the future of the MCU, but it also like sets us up for the MCU. But the story itself, like the moral of the story is we no one should be living life alone. We all need a sense of community. So so yes, this Thunderbolts, the new Avengers, is one of the most impactful films of the MCU of this year. Like the most impactful movie of this year, but also one of the most impactful movies of the MCU entirety. Like the story alone, and just the the sense of needing a community, needing people around you. Like the loneliness epidemic has gotten out of hand the past decade, and it the past few decades, and it yeah, like everyone was needing needing this movie. Everyone, I've seen a lot of podcast, TikToks, just YouTube reviews. I've seen a lot of people discuss this very thing, and yeah, I can tell a lot of people needed this movie. Yeah, it is so it is so emotional, dude. So fucking emotional. This group of ragtag assholes, ragtag group of assholes. That's what they are. Actually, I saw something funny the other day. I saw Riot Wyatt Russell. I saw Wyatt Russell. Someone asked him if Steve Rogers is America's ass, what does that make U.S. agent? And his answer to that question was not the ass, not America's ass, but America's ass hole. Parentheses around hole. He's America's asshole. Like that is what this group is formed of, is of a ragtag group of assholes that have been working for Valentina Allegra de Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. I knew I'd get the name correct. They've been working for her on the side, and they were pretty indisposable, or pretty not indisposable. They're pretty disposable. That's what I meant. Um, just like DC's Suicide Squad. That's what I thought this movie was going to be going into it. That yeah, they were just disposable. They were going to be basically Marvel's Suicide Squad, and they basically were for the first half of the movie. That's kind of what they were. Um, then yeah, when you finally get to the moment where they all are going after each other, and it's still kind of fucked up what they did to Taskmaster. Still kind of pissed, kind of mad about that. But yeah, when we finally get to this group of people and they all meet each other for the first or second time, they run into each other in this building and they start talking and realizing why they're actually there. Like, it's such a relatable group of characters that I thought I'd never actually care for. I knew I'd care for Florence Pugh, Yelena, and Red Guardian, and of course Bucky. I knew I'd care for them, but Ghost I didn't really care for after Ant-Man and the Wasp. I didn't really care for. U.S. Agent didn't really care for him. Not after he decapitated that dude. So I didn't really care for either of those two characters. I rewatched Black Widow the night before, and I was looking forward to more Taskmaster, and then they just fucking killed her off immediately, and I was like, "What the fuck, dude? What the hell? Like, why? Why? They could have fixed the character. They could have asked for what the fans were actually wanting. Some of the fans are actually wanting, and they 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 killed her off instead. Why? That's so dumb, so dumb. But then we get to this random guy whose name is Bob, and for some reason, when you first meet him, you're like, oh, why is just normal random Bob here? Like he feels like or such a relatable character. He's just this random dude stuck in this facility with these psychos, and then you find out his backstory, and it gets even deeper, and it gets even more emotional, and then you start seeing Florence Pugh realize and start connecting to Bob, and god damn it, man, this movie is just so fucking emotional. Like it has its action. It it has its action, and it has like it's old Marvel moments. It feels like old Marvel where yes, Iron Man, Winter Soldier, Cap or First Avenger, Guardians of the Galaxy, like all those had their own unique tones and visuals, visual aesthetics and stuff. It they had their own sense of storytelling, but then they brought them together for the Avengers, and it finally feels like we're getting back to that. We're getting back to old Marvel. Yeah. So yes, it feels like old Marvel. It feels like we're getting back to like the Winter Soldier days, which is funny enough because Winter Soldier is probably one of the last times we saw how ferocious and how deadly the Winter Soldier can be, and since then, like even in Captain America: Brave New World, like he becomes Congressman Bucky, like he feels like he's gotten weaker in the movies, and then he comes off in this movie as this badass again, just taking down the three vans when they're chasing after the rest of the Thunderbolts, and the Thunderbolts needs Bucky Barnes' savior. Bucky Barnes is their savior. Like they needed him to save them, and he comes off as this badass in this film, and I've been missing this Bucky Barnes. Hmm. They didn't really touch on that in the mid credit scene, I guess, but I'm not sure if he's still like a congressman or not. I don't know what he's doing and what his plan is for the future. But getting back to the sense of yeah, like Bucky can whip whip anyone's ass besides Sentry. Like we he goes around whipping everyone's ass until he gets to Sentry, and we get Bob as Sentry, and then Sentry is this overpowered character who is basically becomes like Captain Marvel or or Talos's daughter. Yeah, he becomes this like overpowered character, and you're like, oh no, what's gonna happen? Like, are the Thunderbolts done? Like, we just watched them become this badass group of characters that like still have no superpowers really. They're they're all just well, it's three super soldiers and then just one that has a suit that can do things, and another one that's like a secret agent, Black Widow, like an ex Black Widow, I guess. Um, uh, yeah, you're like, oh no, what's gonna happen? Like they've been beating everyone else, but you get Sentry in here, who's gonna take out Sentry? And then Yelena walks into the void, and man, that is one thing I did wish. That is one negative I do have about this movie. Actually, is the void. I loved when Yelena went into the void to stop Bob, and they realized the rest of the Thunderbolts realized what she was doing, and they also followed her in there. But why didn't we see any of that shit? Why didn't we get perspectives of a lot of people going through the void? Like they missed out on so many opportunities to use the void. Like we could have seen a flashback of Alexei, like in World War II or whatever, with Captain America, if he was actually in with Captain America, or like fighting the Winter Soldier at some point. Because in What If they sent him after the Winter Soldier, which I know that's another universe, but um, could be possible in this universe too. He could have went after the Winter Soldier. Yeah, we could have seen a flashback of him going after like Captain America or the Winter Soldier or just any of the wars that he fought for Russia. Um, we could have seen a U.S. agent seeing himself from another perspective, seeing himself decapitate that dude from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That would have been horrific to see him doing that. Um, or yeah, like horrific for himself to see himself doing that and reliving that moment. Uh, could have seen something from Ghost. I don't know what we would have seen from Ghost, but we could have seen something from Ghost. Could have seen something from Valentina as well. Um, let's see, because this covers all of Manhattan. I'm pretty sure. I don't think it was the entire island of New York, but oh yeah, I don't think it was the entire island, but I think it covered Manhattan at least. So Matt Murdock would have relived Foggy's fucking death. Imagine that. Like a few months have gone by, and now he's just like, imagine him being in court or some uh like serious, I don't know, like he could have been in court or he could have been talking to some client or something in some serious trouble or something, and then just immediately get this flashback of Foggy's death again. Like, god damn it, dude. So much turmoil this man has been through. And then at that point, if it did cover the entire island, Spider Man, New York, Spider Man, he could have relived Aunt May's death. Wilson Fisk, who knows what he would have seen? Like, there's so many missed opportunities for the Void that they missed out on. But with Bob being a part of the teams and saying Bob and the Thunderbolts will return for the Avengers, I'm sure the Russo brothers have something in mind to use the Void again. Like you can't have they even said it. You can't have Sentry without bringing the Void back. So they have to deal with the Void somehow. I'm sure they'll have something in mind to use the void again and maybe see some of the things I mentioned. This movie, it's got its stakes for sure. It's got its comedy and it's got its action for sure. But like I said so many times, it is so goddamn emotional and so impactful on just what it's like to be lonely or what it's like to feel lonely and need friends or a community around you. And we get that with all of these characters in the Thunderbolts. It's it's so fucking touching. It's so touching. Yeah, I cried, and yeah, like I cry a lot nowadays for movies, but this movie, yeah, it made me very emotional, and I don't think I've been that emotional for a Marvel movie since Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Like that, I definitely cried more in Guardians Volume 3. That's probably the most I've cried for any movie is Guardians 3. But this did make me cry and tear up quite a bit. Um I'm just glad I'm just glad we're back. We're back, baby. Marvel's back. Like between all the chair. Well, I didn't really watch the chairs, and I didn't really care for that. I cared for the names all being dropped and stuff, but I didn't really watch the experience. So that didn't really I didn't really care about that. But like between this and yeah, Daredevil Born Again was really good. Um, I finally caught up on the What If stuff. That was really good. The Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man show, that was fucking phenomenal. That was one of the best animated Spider-Man shows I've seen. One of the best Spider-Man stories I've seen. Um so yeah, like between the past few things and the upcoming Fantastic Four movie, I am so pumped for Marvel, dude. I haven't felt like this since Volume 3 of Guardians of the Galaxy. I just want to go back and rewatch Thunderbolts. I want to rewatch Sinners too, but Thunderbolts, I want to go back and rewatch. I keep listening to podcasts about it. I keep just thinking about it, and I just want to go back and watch it. I'm probably going back tomorrow, but yeah, it is 1 o'clock, and I gotta get ready for work soon. So I'm gonna let y'all go, and I will see you guys in the next review. I know this review's been long. I hope you guys don't mind these longer reviews I've been doing. Yeah, if you have any recommendations of any movies or shows that I should be reacting to on YouTube, let me know. If you want to watch any movie reactions or gaming content or any any of my like movie reviews or ranking videos, all that is stuff is on YouTube. My watch alongs and unedited content is over on my Patreon, and a list of all my content is over on my website at findawg.com. That's FINDAWG.com. But yeah, that's going to be it for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I didn't bore you too much. And yeah, I will see you guys later. All right. Bye bye.